This entire box is filled with vintage Nickelodeon products. It is quite literally going to be a portal into the past, and I got all of it for $120. And we're gonna check out all of it together, as well as adding up the value of each item to see if I got a good deal overall, and maybe even came out with a little bit of a profit. But majority of these items I do not have in the collection, so they'll be going directly into the collection. I cannot wait any longer, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so popping it open, and I already see something that I love. Let me know in the comments if you know who this is. Sorry to, get so aggressive there for a second. Let me put some gangsta on it. Yeah, there we go. Now you're in trouble. When you put the gun tilted, that means trouble. This guy's got sanity. He might let you get away without getting shot with a bunny. This guy, oh, you're done for. There we go. We got the Raging Rabbids here. I forgot, honestly, that this was a Nickelodeon show. Yes, the Rabbids that have, as of recently, been in a collaboration game with Mario. At one point, they had a television show that was on Nickelodeon. And they had products that came out for the Rabbids show on Nickelodeon. So this would be, technically, a Nickelodeon item. Let's see if it still works. You can kind of hear him, like, coughing or something. He talks for a moment. Let's see if we can throw some fresh batteries in him and get him working. All right, now that he's reloaded, what have we got here? Damn! He sounds like he's flying through the sky. I guess it's to represent him kind of being shot out. It's a burp gun. And a fart gun. Dude, I just realized, basically, these guys were the original Minions. Like, if you really think about it, these were, like, these ever-producing population of wacky, just strange individuals. They're basically Minions. Mitchell, eat your heart out. That is awesome. This might be our first ever Nickelodeon Rabbids product, too, so new addition to the collection. I'm gonna keep the batteries in there, because you never know when you might need a little... Alright, nice start there. Oh man, the audios are going crazy in this freaking video. Look at that! We got a brand new sealed version of Pablo with the ho daddy, ho daddy. If you don't know the reference to that previous video, then that probably seemed very strange. But I mean, even if you did know, it probably was strange. But this was a figure that we picked up at the thrift store that I fell in love with. I still have him up here on the top of the shelf here. But now that I have a sealed one, that is amazing. And Ryan, go ahead and play a little clip of a Ho Daddy Pablo from that video. And there was a debate here between me and Mitchell. I thought what Pablo said is, there's something in the water, my feet are kind of smelly. Something like, he says something like, I can't remember the lyrics. We'll put them on screen right now. I thought that he said, there's blood in the water and my feet are kind of sweaty. And Mitchell said that that's not what he said. And we looked up the lyrics and it was not blood in the water. I don't know why I thought he said that. It just... Looking back on it now, I was really a poor argument. That wasn't really the hill to die on. It was probably pretty obvious that this child show didn't say blood in the water, but I thought it was like a shark reference. I have no shame. I'll let you guys know when I look stupid, because you probably see it, 3 times a week. But we have one sealed in the collection now, and he's plastic wrapped too, which is just sick. One of the most iconic figures for the channel of this year, in my opinion. It was so fun. There's actually a little hole in it. I wonder if I could get a little Ho Daddy. Alright, next item. The prices will be popping up on screen for you guys so we can see what our total is towards the end here. This is such a good box already. Oh yes, this is one item I did know about in here and I was so pumped about. Believe it or not, but through multiple different locations, we were able to connect all 3 of the original Tak and the Power of Juju games. So we have, well, just Tak and the Power of Juju, self-titled album. Then we also have the Great Juju Challenge. And then finally, the Staff of Dreams. So there's been multiple TAC games on the DS, Game Boy, Wii, but the first three that kind of catapulted him into success were these three right here. And one of the crazy things is you can actually see on the first one, there is no Nickelodeon logo on the actual TAC and the Power of Juju text there. But after it had become like fully blown like a TV show and like a Nickelodeon property, you'll now see there is a Nickelodeon logo on the TAC logos of the sequel games. And it's kind of a crazy thing, and this is the thing that I miss so much about like 2000 Nickelodeon. I wish they could bring that part of themselves back, was just how adventurous and how brave they were. Like the fact that Nickelodeon had their own video game character, like it wasn't even a show yet. And the same thing could be said about Jimmy Neutron. He didn't even have a show. They just made an animated movie about this kid, and then it became a TV show. And the same thing happened here with the game becoming a show, but this was their answer to Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. They wanted a little piece of the platformer pie, if you will, and they actually pulled it off and made a successful franchise. And there's several other TAC games you'll see on screen here. But, you know, once you get a little taste of that sponge money, they kind of go the safe route now, and they don't make a game unless it's SpongeBob themed, or even if they do something like Nick Kart Racer or the Nick All-Star Brawl, it's gotta be something that's like all of them, you know. It has to be commemorative of everything. Like you don't get a lot nowadays of like just a Fairly Odd Parents game or just a Jimmy Neutron or Danny Phantom product. Although they are big franchises, they really play it safe because they know SpongeBob's gonna do well, and I wish they would take more risk like they did with TAC here, for example. The 2000s was a great time, so I'm so glad to have all three of the TAC and the Power of Juju original games in the collection, and I will be playing through these. So although we're not rating the items, this is getting a 10 out of 10 good noodle stars for me. Okay, the next up here we've got, this is literally so much variety in this box. It's like, all of it is like 2000s. Mostly when I buy or get these Nickelodeon hauls, they're usually 90s, Nick. A lot of Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, Rocco's Modern Life, Cat Dog. Rarely is it so 2000s-esque. This is a Avatar The Last Airbender figure, but this is the original Ret Pack. This is not, you know, the freaking McFarlane stuff that you've seen come out. This is before Avatar was like such a big brand for merchandise as it has become. There was a gap between these products and the ones that we have now of like 10, 12 years, where there was nothing in between. And then when the people that grew up with this kind of got older, you started seeing stuff at Box Lunch, started seeing some of the big collectible brands making products. But this is the original 2005, when the show was airing, Fisher Price figure here. So we have Aang there with his air glider in the back there. Oh my goodness. And on the back they have some of the other options you could get. They have Aang there, you've got Sokka, that's freaking Prince Zuko is so sick, but I think the sickest one is the Avatar Spirit Aang right here with the freaking staff that looks like a scythe because there's so much wind clinging on to the whip on that actual staff. That is awesome. I want to see a picture. We're gonna pop a picture up of what the Avatar State Aang looks like in packaging. I can't see it right now, but I think it's probably awesome. I can only imagine it's awesome. Oh, I need to get more of these. I would rather collect these than any of the modern Avatar products. So they make so many of them, but the OG ones, that's just clean. By Mattel. That is amazing. All right, so we'll add that to our value counter as well. Let's see what else we got. The Avatar Complete Series. There we go. You guys may know I was on a search to get the complete Avatar series. Yes, they have it at Walmart. They have it at Target, stuff like that. And they have the Legend of Korra plus Avatar 2-pack. But they had it set up in this weird thing where it was like the 3 discs like this, and then the Korra one was its own box. I wanted to find this one that was just all of it contained within one packaging. And here we have it. It's not in the best shape ever. It's a little bit beat up. But as long as the discs are clean, let's check out book 1. Usually in season sets, if the first one's good, usually the rest of them are good because that's where they started. And yeah, the discs are like maybe like used once. Like there's like barely anything on. There's a couple fingerprints. And another thing about the original release for this is the modern one right now, you just get these gray sad discs that have nothing on them. All of the individual discs have artwork on them. So the re-release that's at Target and Walmart right now doesn't have any of this disc art. And that's like the preferred version of the set that I wanted. I'm so glad that we got to finally add this one. I do have the complete series of Korra with the 4 DVDs separately. I would love to get another packaging that has all of them contained like this if I can find it. But another awesome piece to add with the Avatar figure here. That is weird. What is... I think I know what this is. This is the Wild Thornberries 2002 Academy. So this is a for your consideration DVD for the Wild Thornberries movie. So as you can see up there on the top, it says for your consideration. It has all the different names of the crew that worked on it. This would have been a disc that they sent to the Academy, whether it be for the Annie Awards, for the Emmys. I'm not sure what award show they would have been sending this for, but this is one they would have sent to the Academy so they could watch the movie, take a look at it stylistically, and decide whether it's deserving of being nominated for that award, so then it can be voted on to decide if it wins it. I don't know if they really watch every single movie that gets a consideration. I debate that's probably not the case, but they send them these so they have the movie on hand to be able to check it out. And you can see on the bottom there, it says this DVD is the property of Paramount Pictures. So this is not one that was ever supposed to be in the public hand. It was made to be used within the system, essentially. So a really cool piece, and I would love to throw it in the DVD player to just see what's different about it, if anything, from this version, from the version that was released publicly to everybody else. That is a really cool piece. I would love to get freaking the Rugrats for your consideration one, the Jimmy Neutron one. Oh, and the thought of it killed me. The SpongeBob movie for your consideration tape, that would be so clean. Okay, so we have a few things here on the bottom, some smaller stuff. We have the movie Snow Day, which I've never actually seen this movie. Honestly, it's got Chevy Chase in it. I've heard of this movie, but I didn't even know it was a Nickelodeon movie. I feel like such a noob. Snow Day, Nickelodeon. I've not seen this movie before. I definitely will watch it now, but if you guys have seen the movie Snow Day, let me know. It's got the orange VHS tape and everything. I'm surprised I don't have this in the collection already. And like I said, I'm familiar with the movie. I just didn't know it was a Nickelodeon film. It was from 2000, so odds are I probably didn't see it unless it was like something that they syndicated super heavily, but I don't think it was. Like, I can't remember ever seeing this on. But nonetheless, I'll always take a new live action VHS or any VHS to the collection. An awesome piece there. And then there's also two new items for the iCarly collection. Unfortunately, they're the same thing, but there is these LCD iCarly watches. Like I said, I have a pretty substantial iCarly collection at this point. Some stuff you guys have never even seen before. And you guys have requested me to do a video showing off that collection, like, and going through it together. But it's so scattered amongst different containers in the vault that it would take some time to be able to put it all together. But I love the packaging and the style, like the Prudagiri Eero like style that's just like so iCarly. It was so ahead of its time. The pixelated LCD screen there. I love it. There's some marker on the packaging, but I'm pretty sure we can clean that up very easily. And then I have a second one of it as well too. So go follow us on Whatnot. That'll probably be over there at some point after I clean it up a bit. Ooh, this is cool. We have an Real Monsters plush of Obalina here, and it's got bendable, posable eyes. We got Obalina here, but this is actually not vintage. This is from, dang, that's actually way more modern than I thought it was gonna be. When you've got this Nickelodeon tag on there, this is like 2014 and onward, but I did not expect it to be 2022. So this is a 2022 Obalina. I am curious where they even released this. Like, where do they drop these things to where I never saw this? Like, I was actively hunting and collecting in 2021. So the fact that I never saw this on shelves anywhere makes me wonder where they even released it. And I think I have the crumb from this exact same line actually over there. So this goes perfect with it. Obalina, probably the most forgotten of the Klasky Shupo shows that they released. Well, besides the Ronald McDonald one. That's probably the most forgotten. This is next to it for sure. I would have liked if her whole body was like posable and her legs too, but it's just the eyes here. That would have made it a lot cooler. This is something I've been looking for a long time, but I know they're pretty pricey. And that is the Tamagotchi for Reptar. It's not technically a Tamagotchi, it's called a Gigapet, but this is basically a Tamagotchi, you know, a little pixel creature that you're taking care of, trying to feed it, play with it, let it go to sleep, essentially just try not to kill it. It's all the fun of a pet, except for without all the repercussions and guilt if you don't take care of a real pet. But for some of us, the sensitive of the generation, I still had a lot of guilt when my Tamagotchi would die. This one back here has been dead for a long time. I mentioned in one video that I was going to try to take care of it, and that was the end of that. I never came back. I never went back to that thing, and it is super dead. You know what super dead is? He is beyond dead. Like, he's not even a skeleton. He's fossil fuel, okay? He is super dead. But unfortunately, I can't test out the Reptar Pet here because it needs this weird battery, which I hate that battery. So I hate these batteries. I hate you. I hate these batteries so much. Nobody has these batteries just sitting around their house, you know? So when they die, you're just really out of luck. I wish everything could just be a AA, a AAA, you know, at least those two. But unfortunately, it's got a weird battery. So eventually, maybe I'll get this battery and I can actually try it out. But either way, it just makes for a cool piece to have in the collection. Your own pet Reptar. What is this? Why is there so many things today I've never heard of? First we had Snow Day, and then now Nick Jr. had a toy line? Nick Jr. Wonder Box. Huh? What the frick? Like, for me, when I think Nick Jr., I think Nick Jr., I think like Dora the Explorer toys, I think Blue's Clues, I think Allegra's window there. I didn't know they just had individual products. Like, oh, this is just a product. Like, you know, here, you see Sesame Street toys, you see Arthur toys, you don't see, oh, PBS blocks. That's wild, but it kind of makes sense. I know they had a lot of Nickelodeon products, whether they be the Nickelodeon camera, GAC, they had a lot of stuff, so I guess it makes sense. And it does have that Nickelodeon aesthetic and vibe to it that the 90s had. So it's like a stackable, buildable block game. And I guess you can put all of the blocks. That's actually really cool. You can make it this whole big stack, or you can collapse everything, make it into whatever shapes you want. The Wonder Block. It is still sealed, so I'm gonna keep it sealed, but there is this opening as well to where you can kind of see on the inside there some of the other pieces with it. That's really cool. I will say this is our first Nick Jr. like product that is not like based around a show, and I'm interested to see what other stuff there is out there. There's also a Peekaboo shape sorter, which we'll put on screen here, that has face on it, that you can actually use face from the Nick Jr. bumpers to like help you sort out the shapes from 1995. That's awesome. Okay, then next up, oh, these. Now this is fire coming out of here. This is the Nick Picks Volume 1 and Nick Picks Volume 2 with the original release stickers on them. You can see right there it says 1 DVD, lots of favorites, and has marketing for My Life as a Teenage Robot and Danny Phantom. And this one right here with over $50 in savings, a little coupon. But you'll see this sticker here. This one says for distribution, promotional use only. This blue sticker basically means it's a screener copy. So they cut out all the commercials at the beginning of the disc, and these were used in stores to put on TVs, whether they be selling the TVs as well, or just to display what's on the disc and play it in the stores. So that way it kind of pushes you to grab it off the shelf and buy it. They would also use them inside video stores if these were available as rentals. So that way you could kind of see it on there and you're like, okay, I'm kind of liking this. It sounds pretty good. Or, oh, my kid's like really locked in on this. Let me pick up that while I'm here. But to be honest, most of the time when you see these screener copies, they're for VHSs. Like, there's a bunch of freaking VHS screener copies for like basically every show. Basically, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Snow Day screener copy. When they would send the case of the VHSs for them to put on the store shelves, it would often come with 1, 2, maybe even 3 of these screener copies on the top of the box for the store to have, and then the rest of them would go on the shelf. But the DVD era did not have as many screener copies, so I would say that these ones are pretty rare, being that they are DVDs and of a disc set that already in itself is pretty sought after. And they're brand new sealed. That is a absolute grail for the media collection. Nick Picks 1 and 2 screener copies. Next up here, we've got a Fairly Odd Parents puzzle. You know, simple one there. It's got Cosmo, Wanda, Timmy there on the front, them hanging out like on that random walk path between Timmy's house and his school, which are remarkably close. It's like the exact same walking distance and route as the Krusty Krab to SpongeBob's house. At least it feels like it. There's also some Nick magazines in here. We've got a Wild Thornberries Nick magazine, and also a Hey Arnold one says Smash Hit Summer. You guys know I gotta look through it and find like the best ad in here. the heat that's coming off these pages. Oh man, there was some sick stuff out there, man. So I have one of these for Rugrats, but this is for the Nickelodeon collaboration with the Hotel Embassy Suites. If your parents booked the Hotel Embassy Suites hotel during the time of this promotion, which is a very, very small gap of 4 months, through the Nick magazine, you would get this Jimmy Neutron swag bag. It comes with a Polaroid camera, a luggage tag, spy glasses, a magnetic frame, and a Goddard plush, and a rocket backpack just like Jimmy's. Are you freaking kidding me? Why don't you guys do stuff like this now? Why? I would go book a hotel for down the street and stay at it for a night just so I could get this friggin' backpack with the stuff inside. That's the kind of stuff that I miss so much about the 2000s. They were just brave. They were making video games, freaking Nick Jr. toys, promotional discs, freaking Hotel Embassy Suite swag bags. It was a good time. They had a magazine. It's not even around anymore, the Nick magazine. It was a good time, man. There's a reason I dedicated a channel to this era. It was a freaking, we didn't know how good we had it. Okay, so we have 2 Nick magazines there. This is a weird one. We have Dora the Explorer's Picnic Fiesta. I don't collect a lot of the Dora stuff just because there's so much of it out there, and most of it's not super nostalgic to me. So if I do add something in, it's got to be pretty vintage. So there it is. I will go ahead and keep this. It is pretty cool. Picnic Fiesta game. I love the little handle on it. It's got such an intricate handle etched out there with the Dora logo. I did watch Dora as a kid. Not as much as maybe like Blue's Clues, Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, Maisie, Oswald, Little Bill. I watched a lot of them, and Dora would come on. I would watch it too sometimes. If I add anything to the collection, usually it's going to be stuff from this era, so this definitely falls under that mark. So it looks like it's a pop-out kind of board game that involves you launching like discs of items that different characters need. It's like the Krusty Krab Cook-Off Dora edition. And one thing I will give huge credit to Nickelodeon for is that the new Dora the Explorer series that's on right now looks really well done. And not just that, they got the voice actor who actually voiced Dora as a kid to voice Dora's mom in the new Dora series. That's some fan service. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. And I said that there was one SpongeBob item in here, and that is true. This is the last item, and I cannot believe that I did not have this in the collection yet. It is like one of the most like starter pack green label SpongeBob items there is, but I had never got it in the collection until now. And that is the SpongeBob green label Barbie. So this is an official Barbie, like OG Barbie herself in SpongeBob gear with the SpongeBob keychain. You got Squidward popped up over there, Patrick on the bottom, the welcome to Bikini Bottom sign with Sandy. I love that the Barbie has on like some SpongeBob sweatpants there, which I wouldn't be surprised those were actual sweatpants they released. Like they look so like accurate. And then it says Barbie loves SpongeBob SquarePants. And it's got the SpongeBob logo on the bottom, the Bikini Bottom flowers in the background. The packaging of this is just honestly beautiful. And then you've got the SpongeBob Christmas image there. Hey kids, Barbie is making waves in the fashion front in seaworthy SpongeBob SquarePants style. She loves that bright yellow porous prince from under the... I love that. Porous prince. He is the porous prince. From under the deep blue sea, Barbie loves SpongeBob SquarePants. That is so... Oh, and then look at the old school Nick.com boating SpongeBob. That is awesome. So there is some other Barbies as well. I think there's a Patrick variation as well. And I've seen these out in the wild a couple times. We've seen them at the thrift store before, but every time I find them, the box is just like crushed beyond belief. And I have this keychain, like 3 of them in the collection. I had just never gotten the complete Barbie in box. I just never found it in good condition. And I didn't want to go on eBay and buy it because I had seen it so many times. I just knew eventually I was going to stumble upon a decent one for a good price. And I would say this one is a decent one. We got some crunching there on the top, but other than that, it's pretty clean. So a new green label item being the iconic Barbie, 2 icons coming together in a product. What's not to love there? That is everything in the box. That was so much fun. I have another box we're going to be opening up soon that contains all SpongeBob stuff. So if you guys enjoyed this one, hit the like button, subscribe so you guys don't miss that video when it comes up. Stay tuned here. We're going to add some of this stuff to the collection for sure, whether it be in the vault or for sure here in the showcase room being the cavern as well. But you guys can check out our Patreon down below. It's only $2 a month and it helps out so much with making these videos possible. You'll get an extended version of this video, ad-free, early release, and a bunch of other perks as well. But ultimately, it's just a way for me to be able to have freedom to make the content that I want and the content that you guys want by being able to make it for you, as I say, and not for YouTube. When I make these videos, I want to think about what I think is going to be the best content, the most nostalgic experience, and not think of it based off of what the algorithm is going to want to see. And the Patreon makes it possible for me to be able to do that. And those Patreon extended versions of the videos definitely dive into some of the stuff that I want to do and some of the stuff I want to talk about a little bit deeper. So that is down below for you. You can also visit our Whatnot stream where I'm live every single Friday. Any of the doubles, like some of these Nick magazines that I have in the collection already, you'll end up seeing over there. And I also give away stuff every single stream, sometimes 3 to 4 items in one stream. And you don't have to buy anything to come hang out with us. It's absolutely free. But if you do want to buy something, when you sign up, you'll get $15 for free that you can use to pick up something in the show. You can talk to me directly. I do signings for people in those shows all the time. We'd love to have you over there. All that information is down below. Stay tuned here. But before we add anything, you know the drill. Scan it. Okay, and the iconic Barbie found her way on the green label shelf as well. I think she looks beautiful along with everything else here. It just fits in perfectly because of the branding. Okay, and again, the media that I keep out here is media that I actively like to watch, so it's mostly all open disc. Some of my more rare sealed copies of things, VHSs and stuff like this, I keep inside in a storage safe, so I will probably add this to that, so you won't be seeing them in the background or anything like that. But you don't come across stuff like this every day. So I want to make sure it's in a safe space, especially since I can't even use it. Okay, so over here we have all the core books I was telling you about. So I'm adding the Avatar in right over here. These are all different complete series of shows. Those are all your core Nickelodeon movies, but then everything else in here is complete series of different shows on Nickelodeon. And I have a couple that have come down here as well too, but it's nice to finally see Avatar have a place in here. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. Again, Whatnot, Patreon, all that stuff is down below. I'll see you guys in this video right here. I know you're gonna love it. It's our most recent video. I had an amazing time filming it, so I know you're gonna have an amazing time watching it. And as always, Rep Pack, I'll see you beautiful people in the next video. Adios and bloop.